So if you think about the future, you should always include the wildcard. Because what we normally do in our mind, we think, okay, yeah, the future is just what we have now, just more. You know, we have this kind of linear extrapolation of like from where we are right now and where it's going next. And I want to take you on a little bit of a mind tour of what it is where we are moving towards. And I believe we are moving to a massively digital and physical merged world. The world of tomorrow is not only like watching into your phone, which is our current digital exploration we have. Virtual reality will play a very big part in the coming future. So people will not only live and work on those spaces, but there will be obviously also sports, which we already have actually. But this will be the sports of the future. And that even goes cross to our physical world, where we will merge physical and digital, like purely digital clothes. Not sure if you have ever heard about that, but digital fashion is actually starting to become a thing. So this is actually wearing digital clothes. That can even be translating then to your avatars and your players, and obviously to your virtual reality space. The next generation, my kids, and when we look around ourselves, they're already digital natives. They grow up with iPhones and iPads. They grow up with computers. For them, this is not something new that happened in the 90s for most people. This is something they experience as babies already in a way. This is a complete different crowd, and that's a very digital crowd. And this new digital world we are moving into, this new paradigm needs different tools. And it actually needs the tools of Web3. Right? This is kind of what we laid the foundation in the last recent year, especially with Ethereum and with the tools that are being built right now. But what we actually need for living and being able to exist in this world, we need universal profiles. Our current internet presence, our current digital presence is completely scattered around different social platforms, very dispersed. You obviously have no control over that. Platforms close, your account is gone. The world that we have right now relies on email and password. It's the worst user experience you can have.
There are different benefits for Lukso. I think one big part is obviously from more like an infrastructure layer, the brands can not fight but have a solution for the counterfeit issue. Right? We will have truly unique items, physical and digital. Also for consumers, like any of us, we have a better control of what we are owning, of our things. We have access, we have a great overview, so it really brings security to all of those beautiful things you're purchasing. They have a high value. You really have the true digital and physical ownership.
It's a trustable platform because it will be verified and run by everybody participating. It's not a single institution running a platform where everybody's operating on. It's a platform everybody is running and operating on. So therefore it becomes this trust space. The biggest part in this is actually standardization, making sure that the pieces which run on this infrastructure, which are able to communicate, are doing that in a fashion where it's standardized and they can talk. These kind of standardizations are the synergies we have seen already in the public blockchain space, facilitating an unlimited amount of new innovation.
One of the huge benefits that Lukso provides for brands and customers is basically what we think is the holy grail, which is access. Right? As a consumer, the moment you purchase an item, it should be the beginning of the relationship and not the end. And with the blockchain, what you can do is perpetuate that relationship in which brands can always reach the first and the second and the third owner of an item. You can access, you can incentivize them to purchase, you can send in invitations, and you as a customer get the benefits, even if you are the third owner of a specific item.
And the blockchain makes it possible because it makes it clearly verifiable. You can come up with systems where certain tiers are only reached by owning or by participating in certain things or being at the right location at the right time. And they can be done in a provable form, meaning that nobody can cheat that system.
We definitely want to create an ecosystem, and the ecosystem is only truly built when you have many people participating and collaborating. So we're very open to collaboration. We don't see people working in similar projects necessarily as competitors. We see them as we can all contribute to create a very exciting and rich ecosystem in which a lot of innovation can happen. So we invite everybody who is interested in blockchain and fashion and doing a startup, is an enthusiast and wants to participate, to come and join us in kind of building this new wave of innovation for this industry.
The consumer will not really know when he's using the blockchain, except that he knows that the onboarding will be faster and easier, it will be more seamless, your identity will be transferable from one device, from one system to the other. You take your things with you at all times because you are in charge of your identities and of your things. You will use it in your phone, you will use it on the web, you will use it in your computer as applications, you will use it in physical items like in chips in your handbags or in new hardware devices which will come out. But the infrastructure and the underlying basis will be the Lukso network.
We see three core components of facilitating this. The first one is identities for everybody and everyone. An identity that is self-sovereign and independent from any service and product. In this ecosystem that we're creating at Lukso, identities for objects, peoples, and companies are equal. And we also see a major tendency in virtualization. The way that you consume products and the type of products that we're going to consume is radically changing. And this is a great example of one of our partners, the Fabian. They sell digital-only fashion. Those items are going to be registered on the Lukso blockchain and are going to be sold and traded in the decentralized ecosystem. And the third one we see is the ability to tokenize any kind of assets. It not necessarily has to be a security, it can be anything. It can be a way to tokenize your community as a connective tissue, a way to access your followers. And we know Fortnite sold $3 billion selling avatars. They made more revenue than Amazon with all of their logistic hustle. And Forbes is predicting that the digital collectible market is going to be worth $200 billion within the next few years. So what does it mean, and how would you facilitate all of these that I've been talking about? So we're building an ecosystem, and that first layer is the Lukso blockchain. So right now we have a test network, and the work that it comes afterwards is basically building the standard layer in order to facilitate creators to use the blockchain. And we have kind of identified 10 major use cases that kind of describe the life cycle of most products. Our backbone is a test network. You guys can all check it out. That is the address. And basically, we have a couple of validators running the network in a POA consensus algorithm. Then we have developed hardware. We call it crypto tags. So these are non-replicatable RFID tags that can be attached to any product in order to create a singular identity. So you can create these identities for anything, for a sneaker, for a physical item, for a handbag. So that we see this kind of like as the oracle in order to bring those products into the blockchain. And we have developed two apps at this point. The first one is the Quality Brand app. So it's a white label solution that allows brands to register products on the Lukso blockchain, creating what we call the digital twins. And the second app is also a white label app, basically aiming for the user in order for this person to have all of their items on one place, right? So it's kind of like your crypto wallet for cool stuff. So how would we start an ecosystem? That was the first question that we thought, like we have these amazing ideas and we can execute it, we have the technical capabilities, but how do we do it? So the first thing we did, we went and hunt for amazing strategic advisors and partners, and we have people like the president of Chanel of Europe, from Burberry, from Ethereum, from lifestyle houses.
This one comes out of left field and is a brand new project I'm sure many haven't heard of. Lukso, which is actually from Fabian Vogelsteller, the creator of the Ethereum ERC20 standard and Web3.js, the blockchain space's biggest JavaScript library. Now, if we scroll down into the advisors of Fabian's Lukso, we can see Dr. Anna Trovic of Grid Singularity and the Energy Web Foundation. So what is Lukso? According to the website, it's a blockchain infrastructure providing a series of standards and solutions for physical and digital consumer goods. And just below that it says, Lukso will introduce standards and tools that will enable a new economy based on cultural currencies, digital certificates, and universal public profiles. So why do I think these two could be connected besides Anna being an advisor? Well, they both run proof of authority blockchains as of right now, the reputation-based consensus that leverages the value of identity and reputation of block validators. And that term, proof of authority, was coined by none other than Gavin Wood.
My name's Gavin Wood. I'm a co-founder of Ethereum, founder of Parity Technologies, and I'm currently working on Polkadot. So Polkadot's meant to be a means of facilitating blockchain experimentation and bringing innovation closer to production. So it's really a platform for helping deliver new ideas of blockchain into the world as fast as possible.
And guess when their proof of authority networks went live? Well, right around the same time as each other. Let's see, Lukso went live with their L14 blockchain. As we can see, it's pure proof of authority. The date, June 18th, 2019. And Energy Web went public live with their enterprise grade one. And as we can see, it's proof of authority. The date, June 19th, 2019. Now, the POA crowd is a small group. They're tight, it's a niche, and Block Scout has a list of who is using it. There's Luxo's testnet. There's Ocean Protocol. There's Energy Web. Is all I gotta say. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time. So first, let's talk why this is going to be big. The project's Lukso, and it's bridging physical items, digital items, and people all within one protocol. Assets and items are tied to people, and it's coming from the creator which turned Ethereum on its head and started the DeFi revolution, the ERC20 standard from Fabian Vogelsteller. Now, I showed in the video yesterday the relation with Energy Web. Anna of Grid Singularity and EWF is an advisor to the team. Both are POA blockchains right now, which were released around the same time. Now, I don't think these two are directly related, like they're going to be two blockchains working like this, as Lukso is focusing on the creative industry, fashion, gaming, design, and social media. Energy Web is the energy industry. But you can think of these two in a similar fashion. Get the pun? Energy Web, in my opinion, will become the main blockchain for the energy management, transfer, and trading industry. Lukso will become the main blockchain for the creatives industry, as the people attached to it are no joke in that industry, just like the companies attached to Energy Web are no joke in the energy industry. So number one advisor is Daniel Heath, Nike's Vice President of Digital. Number two, Dr. Bernd Hopkorn, Chanel's President of Europe. Rajiv Aikara, Vice President of Burberry. Down a little further, Caroline Drucker, Instagram's Head of Strategic Partnerships, EMEA. And even Evelyn Mora, founder of Helsinki Fashion Week. Plus many others. But regarding the advisors, they are contributing more than just a head position, and Evelyn Mora is testament to that. Just this month, Lukso's first practical use case was demonstrated at Helsinki Fashion Week, where Digital Village was created, and 30 top designers did this. Designers created universal public profiles on Lukso L14, their testnet. Universal profiles are decentralized and self-sovereign identities, allowing the designers to have one unique identifier in the digital world. With their universal profiles, the designers are able to issue their products in unique digital tokens, allowing for real scarcity, accessibility, P2P transferability, storage, display, and permanence of these new digital items. For the first time, collections have been created and issued 100% digitally and decentralized. So could this be coming with their other partners, Instagram creators, Nike shoes, Chanel, and more? We will have to see. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.
So what happened is people stop investing money if the project has enough. So we do have a solid runway. We have about, I think, 2.5 years to 3 years of runway. And in that runway, we do estimate scaling the team. So there's some scaling added to that. If to the current size of the team, it would be an even longer runway. So you guys don't have to worry. We have runway, and we have also invested our own money on Lukso, and we're here to stay. We're really excited about building this. So there's virtually nothing in the world who can make us change that. So.
Yeah, so especially in the last few months, where there was a lot of traction coming, especially in August, increased the runway by a lot. So the reversible ICO is not the make it or how you call it, the break or make or break?
Make or break. Yeah, it's not the make or break of our funding, right?
It's actually the ability for people to invest in this project in a fair and in a secure. No, that's the wrong one here. If you check on the balances, you can see actually the Lukso Multisig, which gets its initial funds from the Genesis fund. And you can even see the amounts that move to Kucoin when there's larger amounts moving, that this is then sell of like us as a project. This was actually in August very necessary because the price went to $1.50 to $2 pretty fast. If we wouldn't have sold at that point, the price would have been $5. Problem is there is the reversible ICO. So now if you basically have the reversible ICO at 8 cents and you have the exchange at $5, then everybody up there will likely get burned because the reversible ICO does not buy up that fast because you have to do the KYC process. These things take time, and that's obviously not useful for anybody participating in this project. Yeah. But we will reach those highs, I guess, at some point.
Very likely. And Can ask, I see Can has heard my latest podcast. Any updates regarding the new advisor in January?
We do have a very extensive advisory board within crypto and the fashion world. And
I've seen it. It's incredible. You have Nike, Chanel, Burberry.
Yeah, we're very proud.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, we are going to announce a very important advisor very soon, with whom we're going to make like a very exciting collaboration. And I think that's going to be the best kind of like demonstration of what blockchain can do and the convergence of all of those concepts that we love around the cultural currency and digitizing goods, and the universal profile being kind of materialized and why it's so important to have it. So this new advisor that we're going to announce hopefully in January, he's kind of like now moving towards this new he basically is moving to the next stage of his career, and Lukso is part of that next stage. So it's going to be like a very big announcement. I think people are going to be super impressed by that.
I look forward to it.
I teaser, I got a bit too excited in the talk with the host because he's Italian and I'm South American, so we got a bit chatty. But yeah, it's a really amazing advisor. You guys will be really happy, and we will do some really interesting projects with him. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm also very proud that we got that deal done. So stay tuned, Can. I promise, as soon as it's public, you will be one of the first guys to know. Just Chef with chat ask, why are your advisors attracted to Lukso as opposed to other platforms? You want to answer that?
So, I guess there's multiple things. We do have a pretty strong network in the fashion space. The fashion space just really experiences the first real digitalization since actually they exist. You know, there was a little bit of internet through
e-commerce was a bit of a thing for them. They thought it was going to go away, but now they are aware the technology is here to stay. So they want to.
We are realizing now that actually, and also they are realizing, and everybody's realizing that fashion, especially in this new digital age, when it's about virtual reality, AR, gaming, and so on, will play a huge role, and it will play a huge role in digital.
Yeah.
And being able, as a brand, for example, to have a digital presence and digital assets that can live within this digital world is a very different thing, also from the scalability point of view, that we are basically following. So the other thing is
But I would like to add something. It's not easy to get those people to sign contracts. We make all of them are advisors on paper. So let me see what else.
And obviously, concerning the advisors in the blockchain space, I mean, I have been part of the Ethereum Foundation. I worked there for 4 years.
Yeah.
The work I have done is basically what everybody is using in DeFi and DApp development right now. So they all, know me from that one.
Is this project more about fashion or about secure profiles for dApps?
Okay, this is a good question. So in fact, we are not a smart contract protocol that tries to solve one problem. We are not an application that tries to solve one problem. We are a blockchain that opens the possibility of using blockchain for a complete new audience. And we are setting the basic infrastructure. We are setting the network, and we are setting the standards on top of which a lot of people, and including ourselves, can build applications that will use those. And as you see with Ethereum did not build tokens into the protocol. Ethereum is a programmable blockchain where I proposed a standard that led to adoption, and therefore we have the token economy. Yeah. The same thing is actually very important, necessary for identity. But pushing, or actually for on-chain profiles, but pushing on-chain profiles within Ethereum is very difficult because first, it's too expensive to deploy them. Second, right now it's pretty slow and it's obviously on its max limit. And it's really hard to actually make this community adopt these kind of basic things because everybody started out with keys. So we have the opportunity to actually have from the start a complete different set of standards that are widely used within the system. That doesn't mean people can come up with other standards, better standards, and invent their own things. It's a programmable blockchain. It runs the EVM, it runs and functions like Ethereum, but on the top it's a bit faster, it's more scalable because it has a different consensus, and because we actually will piggyback from the security of Ethereum. So it's a complete open platform. We set a certain direction, we set certain standards, and we will build use cases that will inspire others to build similar things. So very much what I have done at Ethereum with the Mist browser, the first Web3 browser that basically teaches every DApp developer what a DApp can be and how it works and how you interact with it. And we defined the middle layers and the standards and how you all do these things. The Mist browser doesn't exist anymore, but it was downloaded over 15 million times. It's inspired that wave of DApps we have right now. And it inspired the DeFi industry at large. Same here, but here we are looking into a direction that is more digital assets. It's more new type of digital assets. It's more to creative industries. It's more mainstream. It's more influencers. It's more creative people. In general, it's what we believe the mainstream will be.
Yeah. So let's see.
The soccer club announcement. Yeah, this is obviously this is still ongoing, but this is everything will have its time.
Yeah. And Daniel says, hope Lukso will be used with applications against counterfeits. Yeah, I hope too. I hope the same. We're working on it, so very likely will happen very soon. So when Binance?
Ask Binance.
Ask Binance. Yeah, but we definitely in our goals, is obviously to have 1 or 2 more exchanges within the next year.
So looking to reach out into the gaming industry, actually we are even working with games. So there's a lot of things in the pipeline, but we are more a project that we announce things once they are done.
Yes.
And not when they might happen. We also don't announce partnerships, because we had a consulting meeting or a phone call with somebody.
Or a POC or something.
We're actually talking with a lot of
groups and people since a long time. Obviously, when we are talking about large corporations and companies and brands with a lot of reputation, they are very careful of who they interact with. There's a lot of projects who just take every small thing they do and put it big on the poster. For us, it's about building something big and building something sustainable. And in order to make this network the de facto standard within this new digital lifestyle, it takes a lot of work and it takes some time. But once things come together, it creates a solid foundation, and it's not build a house and say.
We have very valuable connections, very valuable, our network is very valuable for us. So we are not interested in just burning those connections for the quick gain. We just want to make sure that we actually build something that is has a certain level of longevity and is utilized by a lot of people, and it takes more patience. I think that's one thing that we need in the crypto space, a bit more patience to actually build sustainable and proper products that at the end will actually be utilized by people and companies.